Welcome to another history episode on Real Tales 45. In this video, we will discuss the Mole-Dagbani people of Ghana. We will learn about their migration, their spread, and their legacy. This video will also unpack the complete history behind the conflict between the Kusasi and the Mamprusi people in Borku. Hopefully, the complete history about the conflict will give you a new perspective on the whole issue. Now, let's dive in. The Dagomba people are an ethnic group native to Ghana, specifically inhabiting the northern region. Their history dates back to the 14th century, when they migrated from the savanna region of West Africa. They are also part of the ethnic group known as the Mole-Dagbani. They are known as the Mole-Dagbani because they are four brothers, namely, the Mamprusi, the Dagomba, the Mosha, who now live in Burkina Faso, and the Nanumba, the eldest of them being the Mamprusi. Today, we are throwing light on specifically the Dagomba people, a name which roughly translates to the people of the forest. This video will delve into the complete history of the Dagomba people, covering their migration, spread, kingdoms, and legacy. The people who would eventually become the Dagomba did not originate in Ghana, but rather in what is now northern Nigeria. These people traversed the Sahel, moving from Nigeria through the present-day countries of Mali, Ivory Coast, and Burkina Faso before settling in Ghana. The Dagomba people migrated to Ghana in the 14th century, led by their ancestor, Tohazie, the Red Hunter. This migration was likely driven by the search for fertile land, trade opportunities, and escape from conflicts in their homeland. Upon arrival in Ghana, the Dagomba people settled in the northern region, specifically in the areas around the present-day towns of Tamale, Yendi, and Bimbilla. They established themselves as farmers, hunters, and traders, interacting with other ethnic groups in the region, such as the Gonja and the Kankomba. As the Dagomba people grew in numbers and prosperity, they established a complex system of kingdoms and chieftaincies. The most prominent of these kingdoms was the Dagomba Kingdom, which was founded by Nag-Bewa. The kingdom was divided into several chiefdoms, each ruled by a sub-chief who owed allegiance to the paramount chief, the Yer-Na. The Dagomba people already knew how to rule. Therefore, establishing a kingdom in a land where the people had no kings nor had much knowledge about how to rule and establish a kingdom was not difficult for them at all. It should also be noted that the Dagombas weren't the first to settle in the northern part of Ghana, as they came to meet the Kusasi, the Nanumba, and a few other groups in the region. These people didn't exactly have kings. What they had were tribal leaders who represented, in part, kings to them. They led in almost all their endeavors. The name given to the head of their leaders was Tindana. Nag-Bewa had many children, with the eldest of them being a female called Kachi-Igu. Being a woman, she wasn't eligible to rule after her father's demise, leaving the second-born of Nag-Bewa, Zirili, as the sole heir should their father die. However, Nag-Bewa didn't want Zirili to rule because Zirili was a fighter, just like him, and he wanted his other son Kufogu to rule instead, seeing Kufogu was more gentle in nature. Realizing this, Zirili and his friends ganged up on Kufogu and killed him. This act devastated the king, Nag-Bewa. He spent his days sitting on his animal skin mourning. He continued with his mourning for days until one day, the ground opened up and swallowed him. This site has become a shrine till this day. People now even visit the place as a tourist destination. The Dagomba people also go there to consult their ancestors and to make important decisions. Zirili then succeeded in becoming the king. However, he had an ambitious plan to conquer the neighboring people and bring them under his kingship, but this plan failed and he was captured in his quest, leaving his newly won throne vacant. Being a people who understood rule and kingship, the people sought for a replacement, and they found it in a man called Tohazie, who is also one of the sons of Nag-Bewa. When his brother, Sitogu, heard about this, he wasn't happy about it because he was hoping to be the one to be named king after his brother was captured and made a prisoner. But there was nothing he could do. As such, he went to establish his own kingdom among the Mamprusi people. He was accepted and he ruled there until he died. He named his kingdom the Dagomba Kingdom. the Dagomba kingdom thrived until a man from among the Gonjas called Ndura Gyatpa came and conquered the Dagombas. The Dagombas then fled on their horses from their kingdom and found a home in Yindi, driving away many of the Kankomba people to Toga. Many of them now identify as Togolese, but their true origins are from Ghana. An example of such a group is the Kabila people. The remaining Dagomba people who still lived in Sitogu's Dagomba kingdom fought a hard fight against the Gonja people and regained their land, but unfortunately for them, their victory was short-lived because the Ashanti kingdom also invaded them and defeated them in a war. The Ashantis ruled over the Dagombas from 1722 to 1873. The long arm of the Ashanti Empire was broken by the British during their conflict with the Ashanti people. During the 18th and 19th centuries, the Dagomba kingdom experienced a golden age, marked by significant economic, cultural, and military growth. The kingdom became a major center of trade, attracting merchants from across West Africa. The Dagomba people also developed a rich cultural heritage, including their unique language, customs, and traditional practices. In 1899, the Dagomba kingdom was colonized by the British, who incorporated it into the northern territories of the Gold Coast. During this period, the British imposed their own system of administration, which undermined the traditional authority of the Yana and the sub-chiefs. Despite this, the Dagomba people continued to maintain their cultural identity and traditional practices. After Ghana gained independence in 1957, the Dagomba people continued to play an important role in the country's politics, economy, and culture. The Yana and the sub-chiefs have maintained their traditional authority, while also adapting to the changing needs of their people. Today, the Dagomba people are a proud and vibrant community, known for their rich cultural heritage, resilience, and contributions to Ghana's development. The Dagomba people have left an indelible mark on Ghana's history and culture. Their legacy includes the establishment of the Dagomba kingdom, which became a major center of trade and culture in West Africa. The development of a unique language, customs, and traditional practices that have been preserved and passed down through generations. The production of renowned craftsmen, farmers, and traders who have contributed significantly to Ghana's economy. The maintenance of a strong cultural identity and traditional authority, despite the challenges posed by colonialism and modernization. In conclusion, the history of the Dagomba people is a rich and complex one, spanning over 6 centuries. From their migration to Ghana to their establishment of kingdoms, the Dagomba people have demonstrated remarkable resilience, adaptability, and cultural pride. Their legacy continues to inspire and influence the lives of Ghanaians and people across West Africa. Now, the conflict between the Kusasi and the Mamprusi people dates back to the 17th century. As was earlier mentioned in the video, the Kusasi and the other groups who were settlers in the northern part of Ghana did not have a chief, and they were led by a spiritual leader they called the Tindana. The Mamprusi, however, understood rule and had a chief who would rule over the people. The chief's jurisdiction did not, however, extend beyond his own people, which the Kusasi people were at peace with. Further, things would completely change when the British conquered the Gold Coast and wanted to make both the Kusasi and the Mamprusi people a part of their colony. The Kusasi should have been the right people to have the power to rule the people through this indirect system of governance, but they failed to provide a leader, leaving the British no choice but to reach out to the Mamprusi people for a leader to carry out their agenda. The Kusasi people were comfortable with this arrangement until Ghana won her independence in 1957. After winning independence, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah sought to resolve this issue once and for all by setting up a commission known as the Afari Commission to look into the matter and take a preemptive approach to it. The members of the commission agreed that being the original owners of the land, the Kusasi should have the right to rule, not the Mamprusi, who were given a place to settle out of the generosity of the Kusasis. The Mamprusi did not agree to this arrangement and brought the matter to court, and they won. The Kusasi appealed the decision in the Court of Appeal and it was overturned in their favor. The Mamprusi people had the utmost respect for the decision of the highest court of the land then, and the Kusasis themselves realized the imprints of chiefs and made one for themselves. the Mamprusis lived in peace with their neighbors until Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown in 1966. After the coup, the active Kusasi chief was dethroned because the court's decision in the past no longer had any authority over the people. The Mamprusi took advantage of this and installed their own paramount chief. In 1983, the Kusasi people brought this dispute to the PNDC government to re-establish the decision made by the Court of Appeal before the coup against Nkrumah, and this was done for them. Meaning, the Mamprusi paramount chief at the time was destalled, and the late Kusasi paramount chief's son was installed as the new paramount chief. This is how it has been since then. Even today, it is believed that the NPP government favor the Mamprusi people, while the NDC government favor the Kusasi people. This is the history behind the Borku conflict. We just gave you the history behind the chieftaincy dispute among these people, but we will love to hear from you, our viewers, as well. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you also have questions, leave them and we will be sure to address them in our next video, or even reply you personally. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more contents like these. Thanks for watching.